Hello, hello. My week started off with me being just mad. I got this advertisement for Apply AI, and then of course it's paywall gated, and look how much they charge for desperate people who need jobs. I got so mad I started applying on Indeed out of spite, and I got an interview. It went well last week, but I'm still here waiting to hear back from it, so it's time to go to LA. Now, this is my fourth time in LA. I went twice last year and twice this year now, I guess. Landed in LA, and first stop is to Union Station. That's where you catch all the trains and buses. My first time in LA, I landed in Skid Row, and there's always a Denny's there. The flyaway bus always passes by, and this time it's no different. And I look outside, there was a homeless person face down on the sidewalk in front of the restaurant, and the manager was trying to get him to move, which I thought was hilarious. But at Union Station, met my first customer, and we're on our way through LA. First stop is downtown LA, so not too far. Went through Koreatown, basically. I helped a customer who I had a little chat with. They invited me into their apartment. I met their whole family, and they were just so welcoming. They didn't know I was from Canada, and once they heard I'd just gotten off the plane, they were showering me with everything. So they gave me a salad, water, Gatorade, and before I left, they gave me their kids' candy, Halloween candy, as Halloween is coming up. And yeah, I obviously returned the favor. I gave them, I think, $100 worth of extra stuff. This was a business trip after all. So that's one expensive salad, you know what I'm saying? And now I started munching on the candy. I'm gonna give a rating real quick for each one of these. Jolly Rancher gummy, 2 out of 5. Didn't taste like the original Jolly Rancher or gummies. Kit Kat, it's a classic. Rate that 4.5 out of 5. It's one of my favorite candies, even though I don't eat sweets like that. Watermelon Jolly Rancher toffee, I think. I'm gonna give that 3 out of 5. By this point it's like 2 p.m. and this was my lunch basically. Peanut M&Ms, my favorite, like 4.5 out of 5. Sour Patch Kids, pretty good, 4 out of 5. And these were my only calories to sustain me. I had a very early breakfast at like 6 a.m. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, 3.5 out of 5. And I was just on the bus, just like munching away onto my next destination. Swedish fish, these were better than I expected. 4 out of 5. I've never had these before. Tootsie Roll, I don't really like Tootsie Roll, even though initially they taste good, so 3 out of 5 for me. I'm not a huge fan of sweets. And yeah, that was my lunch. I saw a Waymo car. I think they just launched in LA, so there were a lot of them driving around. My first one was in Arizona, and it was a very cool experience. Anyways, I landed in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood. Helped the customer out. California people are so rich, they have pools on like in every apartment, I swear. Climbed a big hill, saw a Hollywood tour bus. They were looking at me like I was part of the tour. And then it was time to go back to Union Station to head to Irvine for the night. I landed at 11, and by this point it's close to 5. And I grabbed Subway real quick, and it was the protein bowl, and I doubled up on the protein. It was grilled chicken and bacon, and originally it had 55 grams of protein, so when I doubled it, it was 110 grams of protein. So that hit a huge portion of my protein goals for the day. Felt like I was eating a food challenge, I'm not gonna lie. Although other than the bacon, it was relatively healthy, and the cheese, because it's just a lot of veggies and meat, right? So my first filling meal of the day, and it was hella expensive, in like 27 USD, which is like $35 Canadian. On my way to Irvine, it was like an hour and a half train ride. And Irvine is one of the safest cities in all of North America, I'm pretty sure. So my partner, he took me to Thankyou's Thai kitchen, and there's not a lot of Thai food places in Calgary, so I enjoyed it. Afterwards, I met his wife, Naomi. She was very nice, and they took me home. It was so strange because I've never gone to his house before, and now I see how he lives. Like, he has a motorcycle and e-bikes and RC cars, completely different from you know, who I thought he was, because he's like 44, I believe. And yeah, we even had a 3-way phone call with my current business partner. They've never met before, so they had a nice conversation. At this point, it was like close to 11, so it's time for me to go. As you see, compared to before, I looked just so tired. I was non-stop going. Dropped off some equipment for my partner, and drove me from Irvine to Tustin, the poor people neighborhood. I stayed at Orange Grove Inn. It was the cheapest inn I could find, and yeah, they had AC. I put it to the lowest and I just crashed and went to sleep. You know, it's a roadside motel, so there were traffic, and the blinds were kind of see-through, so I just locked the door real good and went to sleep until the next morning, where I took the longest shower and contemplated life, because they had one of those sit-down shower things. And if you stayed at Orange Inn, you get a 20% discount at Denny's. So I went, I ordered healthy food and some not so healthy food, because I knew I was in for another long day. And yeah, it's just so expensive when you eat out in the US because of the conversion. To locals is probably reasonable, but Denny's costed like 30 USD. That's like 40-50 Canadian for one person to eat like breakfast food. Anyways, I hit a quick gym session at the tiny fitness center, and I met my customer and got dropped off at the Tustin metro station. Only problem is I'm 2 hours early, so I had to kill some time, and saw some Trump protesters, so I just walked around the plaza, grabbed the Starbucks. I wanted to work in the Starbucks, but it was a drive-through one and there were no tables whatsoever, so I got my drink and went out. Saw a dead rat. Poor guy was still twitching. After I killed 2 hours just working on business, I finally got back on the train and landed back in LA in the middle of the protest, and they were blocking the roads, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I was just forced to watch. It was a crazy spectacle. It was the No Kings protest, and opened up my eyes a lot. Because I was blocked, I just walked the other way and explored the city a little bit. The city hall side of downtown LA. Of course, they were crossing all the streets, so I got blocked several times. Saw some pretty nifty costumes, I guess. And yeah, I want to go back to Taipei, only 7,000 miles away, you know. Once I got to Union Station, that was fine, and got to the airport by LAX flyaway again. It was so weird because I had landed just the day before and now I'm leaving. And when I got back to the airport, I grabbed some food. It was a total rip-off, as you can imagine. I was so mad when I boarded the plane and found out the airplane food was cheaper and better quality than the airport food. So that was something. But yeah, that marks the end of my LA trip. 4th time. I feel like I'm very familiar with California. Not all the cities, but I get the vibe now. And at least LA I'm very comfortable with. Even in Skid Row, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I had a good trip. Plane tickets were $230. Hotel was $140. And only had 2 meals outside, so that's pretty good. But yeah, very short trip. 2 days, 1 night slept over. I was just really happy to see my business partner, who I started working with from my last LA trip back in April. And it was quite eye-opening, and I saw what Irvine was like. It's too rich for me, man. It's so boring there. Like, you would never see a homeless person there. Cost of living is also too high. But I enjoyed the trip, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching, and see you guys next week.